Titanium.
Okay, so this is canvas is primed in a wash of raw umber and ivory black, or any black you have. Have here raw umber, burnt sienna, ultramarine violet, and titanium buff. If you don't have titanium buff, white is fine. I am using red oxide because the burnt sienna I have is Winston & Newton, and it is too orangey. So I switched to oxide. So what I'm going to do is mix right now, touch of just a bit of raw umber into my red oxide. Just take ultramarine violet. In titanium buff. So I want this wall or that color to be a muted more on the purple. Not, it will show a bit of purple. And it is highlighted with titanium buff. I'm using a round brush, but like I said, any brush you like. And I'm going to start with the wall in the back. Let's add a bit of brown in this one here, just that one here. With my color. I just put a bit of brown in there. Perfect. Oh, I like this color. It's good. So I'm doing this one here. Should be a line right here. Okay, now let's take same color, the one with the titanium buff, the light one. No brown, just burnt sienna, ultramarine violet, and titanium buff. Let's go back to the one further back. It's lighter. Now it's going to dry it darker, but that's fine, no problem. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to wait. I'm just going to wait a bit, so you can catch up. Right. So now I'm going to switch to my flat. Put some more water. Make my color a bit more liquidy. I'm gonna add the reflection. Now I see here some kind of a darker color wall. I think it's the side of the wall. I am gonna ignore this for now and just paint the wall right here. Oh, oops, go darker. I like to put the bigger details and then I'll go to the smaller ones. So right now, I'm taking raw umber. I take ultramarine violet with my raw umber. This raw umber is the bottom of the bridge inside the how do you call that part?
The underside?
Underside. And now,
sorry, what are you using? Raw umber and ultramarine violet or black?
A touch of, yes, touch of ultramarine violet in my raw umber.
Or touch.
Now, same colors. Okay, I'm going to take my colors and then I'm going to do an opposite for the reflection and let it kind of just like that. Since I have I'm using raw umber, I'm going to put that detail right here. And we're using raw umber, ultramarine violet. Let's put the inside of this arch. I'm putting some green here later on, right there. And another one right here. Same. I'm going to use the same color. And I'm just going to do the reflection. Reflection.
Leah, are you sure you're not using any black?
No, there's no black.
It looks really dark.
Yeah. Because when you mix, it's not that dark. You know, maybe on the camera it looks dark, but it's not black. It's a dark brown. Raw umber is kind of a dark color, and when you add ultramarine violet to it, it makes it darker. Are you okay with that? Do you want me to continue or do I stop?
Can you stop so we can catch up?
Sure. Okay, so now for this step, I'm going to work on this wall. Right? This wall right here. So where that wall is, there's an arch. And I can see the side of that thickness of that wall where the arch is. It's darker on top and lighter at the bottom. But if you look at the wall, if you look carefully, you'll see that the bottom of that wall is a bit lighter right here. Mm-hmm. This area is a bit lighter. The color is lighter. And here, the color is darker. That's the only way to show that side of this part, is to make that wall outside lighter. And then we can play around with the colors here. So I'm going to take, simple, I'm going to take my burnt sienna. I'm going to put a bit, again, of, let's say, ultramarine violet in it. I'm going to take titanium buff, make it light. A little bit more ultramarine to tone it down. I am really not worried about right now if this is the right color, because I can fix it later on. I can adjust it. Reflection, reflection. Right here, okay. Now,
colors look so much redder.
Pardon?
Your colors look so much redder.
Redder?
Mine look
yeah. Don't worry about that, because I'm using red oxide. That's why. Maybe I should switch to. Because don't compare your colors with mine. Make sure that you have a pinkish earth tone pink, like a brownish pink. Whatever you see in here. Mine is more red. Now I'm going to take brown, raw umber, mix it with burnt sienna, make it dark. A dark burnt sienna, more like a brown. And come back here, but it has to be red. Like it has to be not red. I mean, it does not brown like this one here, because you want to see the difference between the brown that we put in there. We put brown, we put raw umber and ultramarine violet for this, right? Inside, where we're seeing a dark brown. But the side of that arch where the wall is needs to be a dark burnt sienna. Okay, I'm going to say dark burnt sienna. So it's burnt sienna that has brown in it. This is brown with ultramarine violet, no burnt sienna in here. This is burnt sienna with brown. Halfway. Wipe my brush. Come to this part where I have the big mixture before. I did the mixture of the burnt sienna, ultramarine violet in here. I have, when I wipe my brush, I still have brown. Burnt sienna, ultramarine violet, and a bit of the titanium buff or white. And I'm going to go down sideways. So I have halfway, upper part of that arch is dark, and then it becomes lighter.
Sorry, Layal, you've lost me. So you're doing the inner part of the arch.
Yes.
And at the top, it's darker than the bottom?
Yes.
But what about the original dark part that you had?
Just leave it.
sorry, you had burnt sienna in that one, and you had burnt umber and raw umber and ultramarine violet in there.
In here.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So now I'm using umber and burnt sienna for outside. So okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And when I get to the bottom, just highlight it a bit at the bottom. I'm just highlighting the wall outside because it, you know, with acrylics, it dries darker. So you have to keep on adjusting. The only reason I'm highlighting the wall outside wall is just because of that arch. Because I want to show the side of the arch. And if I don't highlight the wall outside, it will be the same color if I don't do that. Oops, more brown. So this is a highlighted kind of red or pink, which I used my burnt sienna and I added a ultramarine violet and titanium buff to it. And I'm just going to come here and highlight this wall a bit because, again, I have to keep adjusting with a acrylic because it dries darker. And really, this is just the background. So we're not going to see any of that by the time we're done. When we start putting the foreground and the boat and everything else. So I wouldn't spend too much effort on it and time.
The edges on the reflections are less sharp, huh?
Yes, they're softer, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Only closer to the actual wall where it's reflecting, that's where the edge is sharp. But then after that, it just... We camouflage a bit some of these. All right, so now I'm going to take just raw umber. I don't know if I need to go darker, but I'll see in a minute. And this part here underneath, I'm just gonna darken this a bit, especially this area. Don't go all the way down. Kind of halfway, and that's it. Okay. Just this area. This area is usually darker, right here, when it turns, where it turns, and then it's fine. I'm just going to adjust the curve. Okay, that's good. Same. Oh, okay. Clean my brush. And take my burnt sienna, ultramarine violet, because that will tone down my burnt sienna. And I take lots of titanium buff or white, whatever you're using.
Get some of your titanium buff. Thank you. Thank you.
I think I need more. I think I'm going to take some of this color and put it here in that titanium buff. Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's a really light color. I'll come right here. It's going to dry darker. It's going to dry darker because, first of all, it is the first layer. Acrylic dries darker anyway. And the other thing is it's on a darker canvas. So the wash, that wash that we have is going to make it darker.
Can you repeat the colors layout, please?
Sure. It is burnt sienna, ultramarine violet, and lots of titanium buff or white. You want to get to that pink color right here, right there.
Oh, you're not using brown. Okay, sorry. I keep mixing brown. No. Shouldn't be. Sorry.
There's no brown in here. Now I can do I can do, increase the amount of titanium buff here. And then just paint, because the walls are lighter right here in between those windows, or shutters, or whatever they are. The blue, in between the blue. And the same thing, I'm just going to push it down for the reflection. I'm not worried. I'm really not worried about any of these colors in here, like where the blue is, because I can put the blue over.
Leon, isn't there a box there? There's a flower box where you're putting the white.
Yeah, I can put that over. You mean here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll add this over after.
Oh, you add it after.
Yeah. I don't need to leave room for it. It's minor. I don't need to leave a lot of room. It's this part of the bridge right here, underneath that dark part, just because we have the colors. So I have raw umber and ultramarine violet, touch of the titanium buff,
Do you have more of the umber or more of the ultramarine violet?
No, more of the umber. I'll tell you why, because ultramarine violet is a transparent color.
Yes,
it's not, it doesn't really, it doesn't do anything. So you want, what it does, it just turns your color, whatever you're using it with, into a purple, kind of, you know, it has a hue or a tint of purple in it. That's all it does. But it's not really enough as a color. It's not opaque or strong enough. I'm gonna dip my brush in a bit of water because it's not, I can't have a straight line with this unless it has a bit of water in it. Okay, that's good. That's very good. Okay, so now I'm going to take a bit of more titanium buff, just a bit. You see if I'm taking just a bit of with the tip of my brush and put it in here in the same mixture of raw umber and ultramarine violet. And I'm just going to highlight the bottom part. Giving it texture. It will dry darker. Okay, I'm going to more. That's raw umber. Just raw umber. I'm just adjusting the curve. We're getting there.
That's it. That's it, my girl.
Yeah.
It will dry. It will dry. This is too much right now, but it will dry. It will settle. The color will settle down. Okay.
You did that to darken it a little bit, or?
Yeah, I darkened a bit this part with raw umber only.
No, underneath there. I saw you dab.
This here, no, don't worry about that. Don't touch it. If yours is good, don't touch it.
Okay.
Right. No, I didn't. Okay, how can I fix that?